Yeah, you could probably show up to a Mellow Monday or a Throwback Thursday and be just fine, Hyper. But today,
Tryhard Tuesday.
Tryhard Tuesday. I just want you to know, when I added in that rear view mirror at the end to make the track longer, I was thinking of you.
Why?
Because then you get to play with the battery sag, bud.
Playing with the battery sag the whole time, honestly. Lap 3's wild.
Lap 3 is wild. Yeah, it's definitely the Kavak slalom is rough with battery sag. Oh, this can be a photo finish. Come on, little battery, you can do it! Yeah!
Every gate on those center poles is outstanding.
Every gate on the set. Oh yeah.
That whole, it just, yeah.
Dude, I love that crossing the whole thing and then having to do like the loop around the top. Claymore came up with that, and he made a track on a sketch on a notebook, and then I built it off that notebook. So I may have misinterpreted what he wrote, but anyway, we ended up with a sick track, and now I use that feature a lot.
Yeah. I love it, because you can like actually... Oh, son of a bitch, I forgot which way I was going. You can like vac over and just barely miss scraping your props.
Mm-hmm.
That just, you know, makes me feel all warm inside.
What field of view do you guys use?
130.
Rank it.
Come on, baby. Just a few more turns.
Oh my gosh, Hyper, stop improving.
Yeah, me.
This is gonna be the kicker right here. Come on, baby. Get there. Get there.
I think Freedom Deck in 3080 about talk about how much it costs to build a Street League zone, and I just dropped some Freedom Ducks like, oh yeah, like this, like $100 for motors or whatever. I'm like, nah, dog, we've solved all that. $68 for motors.
Yeah.
He's not gonna buy those. His team.
No, yeah, he's not. But people, it's good for people to know that you can get motors for $68.
Cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that's more expensive than a 5-inch frame is the frame, and not really, depending on what you get.
Yeah, it's like it's like the same cost as like a premium freestyle frame.
No, I've seen. Well,
Eh.
I say that like I fucking know.
I know you go hard in the paint with freestyle.
Only at competitions.
You're a real freestyle tryhard.
No, legitimately.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh dang.
I've been to, yeah, I've been to a few.
Yeah, they have
competitions.
freestyle.
Freestyle try hard? No, not a freestyle competition, but a freestyle try hard.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
those definitely. sick.
If you don't win the IO tryhard freestyle competition, whatever,
Yeah.
I'll be
That's on
disappointed.
popularity. It's kind of dumb.
Yeah, if you're gonna do that, go freestyle with a lit up prig.
Dude, yes.
Dude, I haven't had time to fix my 3-inch since Cali Clash, so I think that's might be what happens there.
Dude, I'll go freestyle with a prig.
Hell yeah, I got an
That'd be funny.
NSD prig right now, so that'll be perfect. Oh, I didn't check my mailbox. I just
Oh,
hear
yeah,
Crazy
you
Voice
should have.
just reminded me.
Yeah, you might have some new parts.
Oh baby.
That
I'm
would
so
definitely win the
excited.
freestyle.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that thing's gonna look so awesome.
I'm gonna be fabulous as fuck. Y'all ain't ready for it.
Yeah, no, they don't know what's about to happen.
Yeah. That second beauty contest is mine.
And now that you have ideas, from everybody else's
That's how you win the
their
freestyle.
submissions.
No, he just didn't have his prints yet.
Oh, okay.
Go last, take whatever you like, and make it prettier.
Damn it. Alright guys, we got started nice and early today, so you want to wrap it up at 20 minutes of practice? How does that sound? That's 5 minutes from now.
Works for me.
Good.
Alright, 5-minute warning. So guys, that timeline working for you?
Yeah, we got the stream up and running.
Excellent.
And I think we got all the pilots added.
Dude, I'm so stoked to see the lines that come out of this race. It's gonna be so exciting.
It's so good.
The twisty bit's really satisfying when you do it right.
The right at the end?
Just the whole middle section.
Oh yeah. Dude, I love making this stuff, but I'm like, I have no idea what the fast line's gonna be. This could be so cool.
Yeah, I like the twisty stuff.
Has anyone ever noticed that soldering doesn't work good when it's humid out? Because I'm trying to figure out my solder going.
What temperature are you soldering at?
Probably mid 60s and humid as fuck.
What temperature are you soldering at?
Oh, like 400.
It's way too fucking hot. That's why your solder's gonna suck.
My solder at.
You all solder too hot. 340 is plenty.
No, sir.
The harder you go, the worse it is. You would think it'd be easier.
Correct. Yeah, well, it's
It's a lot easier.
it evaporates all your flux and makes your solder look like shit.
How do I something big?
All power.
No, that the benefit of turning your temperature up with something big is that it helps your iron transfer heat faster. It's not that the higher temperature helps. It's a heat transfer equation. So if you do it right, then you heat the pad and then fucking feed the solder in between the pad and the soldering iron right where they meet. Low temperature works just fine.
I like literally soldered an ESC yesterday. It came out beautiful and was doing the same thing today. It was coming out like trash. And I'm like, what the fuck is the difference? The only thing I can think of is it's raining outside while I'm doing it.
Yeah, well, I mean, more moisture in the air. The thing that makes it bad is the solder oxidizes. So if there's more moisture, there's more oxidation.
Yeah. I'm from Colorado. I'm not used to having to cope with that.
They
Go down to like, are you soldering big wires or little wires?
Big wires.
Go down to 360 and just spend more time.
Let's try it. All right.
So do it like just spend a couple more seconds on the.
It's a big step for me, dude. I've had that iron locked at 400 for like
I know,
a year and a half at this point.
Everybody's like, put the iron to max
I think that's max.
on the TS100.
Oh, mine will be like 3.
Yeah.
Dude, I was getting so frustrated today. I actually took out my soldering station again. Like, I haven't used it since I got my TS100. I'm like, is this friggin' broken? What the hell?
Oh, qualifying's done.
Alrighty then, everyone finish your laps. Oh, did you just take this guy? So is it done?
I didn't take it, but it's 7:20.
Okay. There it is. Alright guys, everyone finish your race. Give you another minute.
So it's done or not?
You can finish your race, whatever you're flying right now.
I need another minute and 15 if I don't crash.
We'll see how long it takes me to get to the leaderboard.
Works for me. I might crash anyway.
I've heard ABs yet, so another one.
Don't worry, you improved even more than anybody else can even get to. Your time is sick on there right now.
I've
I
been
ain't even
waiting.
hit 148 yet. You already got a 147. Crazy.
Oh, you didn't see.
Did you find a bounce line? If you found a bounce line, I'm gonna patch you mid-race.
Bounce line, but
There's a
Please
bounce
do.
line on
Pass
the
that
gave me
that
twisty hops.
horizontal gate, the white one. I did
Yeah,
bounce off of it.
There's always
And it-
bounce lines there. There's nothing you can do to get rid of those.
Okay.
They just can't. As long as they're not faster, then I call it good enough.
Yeah, you'd have to get pretty lucky.
That's not.
You guys didn't even know about that.
Bounce lines are like meta in normal DRL sim for some reason.
True.
Hit a bounce line when I sag and pancake
hate it,
5. Does that count?
No, but like there's a USAF track where you have to like go under the wing of a plane,
There we go.
and it's like
Sim Cup 8.
a half second faster to actually hit the ground.
All right, I am posting leaderboard in SimRace chat right now.
Did my new one count?
Here's my last. Here's my
I
last.
don't know. Depends
This
when
is
it load it.
Actually,
It
technically
did not. Damn.
doesn't matter anyway,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's
but for the bragging
All right.
rights.
Cool.
Ride Sky.
Yeah, here.
Alright, here we go. I'm gonna go ahead
What we
and
have.
introduce our live stream, and then we will get kicked off.
all right.
So I'll be right back. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Street League Drone Racing, where we typically do some real-life drone racing, but today we are actually going to be doing a little bit of virtual drone racing with some of the best pilots in the game. And tonight we will be crowning our Tryhard Tuesday champion to see who is the fastest Tryhard of the bunch on a more difficult track than we would normally do on one of our other races. But these pilots are up to the challenge. So we're going to jump on into our Discord, which there's a link for just below if you'd like to join and hang out with us or do some racing. But we're going to jump into that Discord and catch up with some of those pilots now.
No, you're welcome.
You have no
Say
power in
hello,
here.
say hello to the live stream, boys.
Because you guys said it was faster.
What's
So.
up, everybody?
We have our resident race director, Mr. Leadfingers, also a pilot, so he'll be partaking in the festivities tonight, along with the
Maybe.
others. Perhaps.
Perhaps we got to keep this thing running smoothly, but we'll see if I can get some races in. All right, guys, the lobby's private now. If you're not in yet, you got to type in a password.
Beautiful. We already have a beautiful lobby filled with all of our favorite pilots who will be bashing it out tonight to decide who is our Tryhard Tuesday champion. They're playing for Pride today. We have a Discord role that is unique to those who have made either the Elite 8 or have won a sim race. But Tryhards don't need any any real egging on. They'll try hard anyway. So we're going to be looking for our first heat of pilots. Let's go ahead and load those up for the live stream. And we are going to be looking for the following pilots. We're going to be looking for Z-Stone, Free, and A-Drone. That's going to be your C group for our first round of racing tonight. And then we will bump it up to 6 pilots in later heats. So this is going to be the beginning of points rounds. These pilots are going to be competing to attempt to earn as many points as they can. Go ahead and ready up when you're prepared to race, pilots. So essentially this is going to work like Mario Kart. We are going to race through round 1, or race 1, whatever you want to call it. And pilots are going to try to set their fastest possible time in some head-to-head racing. First to, I think it's 3 laps. And the pilots with the fastest times will earn the most points. Then we'll jump into round 2 and we'll race them all again, where they will accrue more points. And at the end of points rounds, the pilot with the most points is going to be, well, the 8 pilots with the most points are going to have a chance to compete head-to-head in the finals to secure their spot as the tryhardiest tryhard of them all. So right now, the biggest tryhard in this group, looking like it's going to be Free. Oh, nope, that's going to be A-Drone as he makes a nice pass there, capitalizing on the mistake of Free. And now we've got a nice little line of drones here. It's going to be A-Drone in the purple drone, Free in second place in the white, and Z-Stone in green. This is going to be Heat C. Each of these pilots trying to start off the event strong with a nice solid run. Some of them going to have varying degrees of success with that, as we see A-Drone doing a good job of staying consistent, trying to maximize those points early on when the mistakes are being made by the other pilots. We typically see some TQ times as we go through the night, even all the way into finals. And I think tonight will be no exception with the level of skill that we have. We have a nice little multiple choice gate there at the end of the lap. So we'll see what types of lines people choose going through those.
Through any of those 3 gates.
Oh, wish I would have knew that.
Come on now, guys. This is my first time seeing the track. You're gonna get to watch me name these elements in real time. Also, we've got the dive gate. We should call that the halo, I think.
The halo.
You don't call that tall flag the sky flag. We're not friends.
The sky flag? Which tall flag? There are several.
Oh, you'll see it.
You'll see, oh, the
There's
sky
the
flag.
Twice as big
Look,
as
it's right
anything
there on the
else.
right.
I love it. It's just like me.
It's not that close. It's just big.
The big flag. Alright, so that's going to be it for round 1 Heat C. We're going to be transitioning to our next group of pilots. And we are going to be looking for Solus, AC, Donovan 86, Griff, Hyper, and Sociopath. You guys are up in the race lobby right now.
Sky, do you want to be starting and saving the races on Rotor Hazard,
Yeah.
or do you want me to?
I'll try to start them and save them, if that would
Alright.
make your job easier.
I could do either. It's just if you need it for your live stream.
Yeah, let me do that. It'll make the live stream a little bit easier.
Okay, then you can do that part. I'll do the marshal part.
Cool, cool, cool. Alright, so Heat C is complete. We're looking for Solus, AC, Donovan, Griff, Hyper, and Sociopath. I believe we have all of those pilots already. Go ahead and ready up when you're prepared to race, pilots. So this is going to be our second group of pilots trying to set their fastest time for round 1. Who is going to be able to set that top time? We'll start to see those results come in slowly as the races progress. But right now we're going to be on board with AC, seeing the purple LEDs of Hyper, who now charges to the lead. Nice solid run so far from Hyper, and some beautiful line work there through the twisty bit, making that much simpler than the other pilots. I think other pilots who are not yet in the fastest group of pilots, they're going to want to take note of what Hyper's doing, because they're going to be racing him by the end of the night. Hyper was our third place finisher in the last race. Our first place winner, our overall winner, not here tonight, so there's going to be a little bit of breathing room for him potentially here if none of the other pilots are able to step up and give him a challenge as he charges ahead. He may even be timing out some of our pilots in this group. However, we got some nice intricacies with our format. So essentially, once our pilots set their fastest time for round 1, going into round 2, they're going to be shuffled and reordered based on their total points. And that will happen every single round. The pilots will be shuffled based on their total number of points, aka their average speed. And so you'll end up with all of the closest possible racing in every single heat. We expect several racing organizations to catch on to this format that we've devised. We really love it, and we think that a lot of the drone racing community will soon as well, as it's just yielded such great racing. But right now, Hyper's going to make it look as easy as he possibly can. Meanwhile, the second place battle is going to be pretty fierce between Solus and Sociopath. Solus in the purple or pink, and Sociopath in the orange. Who's going to take it? Looks like Sociopath's going to come in with the win there, beating out Sociopath. Or Solus going to take the win, beating out Sociopath by only 0.05 of a second. AC coming in fourth. Hyper pretty handily taking the win there. And we're going to watch Griff go ahead and finish on out his run. No pilots getting timed out in this one, so the gap between our fastest pilots and our slowest pilots still pretty small here overall. So that's going to be it for that round. And we're going to be moving on with our next group of pilots.
Sky, can you mute
That's-
that tab?
Which tab is that?
One that
Come again?
the rotor hazard run. The rotor hazard run tab.
I can't mute it for you. Only you can do that. Or are you saying it's bleeding into the stream? Not sure for here and back. Can I get a mic check on the Discord?
Test, test. There we go. I'm back.
Alright. Yeah, I think you have to mute it on your end.
That's what's happening. All right, just double checking.
Yep. Next group of pilots, we're going to be looking for Streets, Potato FPV, Robot, KB FPV, 3080 Bot, and Lead Fingers. You will be our next group of pilots racing. And
My apologies for being late, but I'm here.
Oh, we have a newcomer. We will have to drop you into round number 2. Sorry about
That's
that.
All good.
You'll be in Heat C.
All good.
Awesome. All right, here we go, pilots. Go ahead and ready up when you're prepared to race.
Hey, I'm not up on the race screen. This is Robot.
Okay.
He just flew.
Yeah, Griff, if you could jump down, that would be great, so that Robot can jump up. In general, pilots, immediately after you finish flying, if you could go to spectate, that'll make things a lot smoother for all of our other pilots. I think Griff is AFK. Led, can you...
It's locked up on me, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
That's fine. I got you.
Thanks.
There we go. Now I think we have everyone. Go ahead and ready up, and we'll kick off this next heat. Thanks for the heads up, Robot. Get a nice view of this launch here as we go into our A group. So this is our final round of pilots to finish out round 1, final heat of pilots to finish out round 1. And after that, we'll have our first set of points A little bit of chaos here off the start for all of our pilots. And I think that's going to leave some doors open for other pilots to capitalize and make some things happen. Right now, the pilot making the most happen is going to be 3080 bot out in the lead in that yellow drone. Coming around our rear view mirror section and working his way onto the multiple choice gate to finish out lap number 1. Moving now on to lap number 2 with both 3080 bot, KB, and Leadfingers in that order. Now working his way through the split S, up through the twisty bit. And I have to say, the line that we saw from Hyper earlier in the twisty bit, not to out him, but it is a fantastic line. And I think it's going to be tough for these pilots. They just spent about 20 minutes learning this track. And it's going to be tough to see other pilots doing it differently and having to adapt. But they have 6 rounds to make something happen. We're going to be racing 6 points rounds. And right now, in round number 1, 3080 bot making some good things happen for himself with a nice clean run. Currently beating out KB, Potato, and Leadfingers. KB solidly in that second place position. Not much to contend with him there. You can see him in the blue drone. Third place right now going to be the orange drone of Potato. So pretty solid running order here between our pilots. We're going to jump back over to 3080 bot. So he works his way through that rear view mirror section, and it looks like he's going to finish out solidly in first place. Second place, looks like KB having some issues with the multiple choice gate, and he's going to sneak on in above Potato still, but definitely letting him catch up, and potentially some other pilots from other heats gain a position on him there. So we will see how those add up. It will be interesting.
Good race, guys.
Good racing.
Alright, that is going to be it for Heat A. And we're going to wait for the points to total. I'm going to go ahead and add our 1 late pilot. And then we will build out our next round. So there it is. We see some points starting to populate already. I'm not sure if that's all of them. It looks like we've got a couple more coming in, but right now, so far, it looks like Hyper is in that lead position. Second place was going to be A-Drone so far, it looks like.
Nice. Well done.
We'll see if anyone pops up ahead of him as our race director inputs the times manually, because there's no way to do it manually on this sim yet, or
Well,
automatically. Maybe someday. Maybe someday we'll get a sim that lets us do some cool software stuff. This is a hint, by the way, that they should. And actually, it looks like 3080 bot gonna sneak in there, just above A-Drone. So some close battling there. We saw A-Drone in one of our earlier heats, and 3080 bot just now finishing out his time. And the pilot you're not gonna see on there is our pilot who has not yet raced, Imperious. And we will see him jump in the subsequent heats. And he'll be in this next heat for sure. So let's go ahead. Race director, do we have all of our points for all of our pilots?
You don't have the points on the screen right now, by the way. For stream.
Thank you. There we go.
That's what I'm checking right now. It looks like they're all there. I think we're good to go.
Alright, we're going to go ahead and generate our next round of racing.
I'm going to let you do that.
With a little tweak. And here we go. We're going to throw Imperious in that one as well. Okie dokie. I think we're good to go. Alright.
Hey, it's that impervious guy.
Impervious.
What up, BB?
Impervious FVC? Something like that? Okie dokie, here we go. We're gonna have our pilot intro. So here's going to be our next group of pilots. It's going to be Robot, Griff, Streets, and Imperious. In round number 2, Heat C, which says round X, so that's pretty cool.
Hehe.
I got that.
Beautiful, beautiful. In the meantime, I'm going to take a look at our results while we wait for our pilots to load in and ready up. So these are your results after round 1. And we're going to be quickly moving on to our next heat. Now, I'm expecting to see Imperious with a little bit of lack of practice here. It's a tricky track, so he's definitely going to have some line work to try to figure out as fast as he possibly can. But he's already doing a pretty killer job battling it out with Robot early on. Imperious in the blue, Robot in the red, giving us some great racing here to showcase some of the racing I think we'll see later on tonight. Imperious, though, starting to take the lead a little bit as he goes on to the rear view mirror section. That loop back going to let him see, as though he were in his rear view mirror, the drones who are behind him. Although they're behind him enough that they're not even in his view, as Robot not far enough back yet to show up in that rear view, but he is far enough back to make Imperious feel as though he's got something going for him here in round 2. A nice twisty bit from Imperious, one of the better lines we've actually seen through that portion of the track, already starting to figure out really well through the Ascension Gate down into the Halo. Who's going to take round number 1, Heat C? I think it is going to be Imperious. Robot chasing, though, in that second place position. Any large mistake we saw from Imperious, I think Robot could capitalize on. But I don't think we're going to see that. We've got some beautiful flying here from Imperious. Let's go ahead and jump on board and see FPV. The line work of Imperious up through the Ascension Gate and down through the Halo. Some beautiful flying here from our pilot and our leader here in Heat C. And there it is. He's going to come through the multiple choice gate. And that's going to be it for Imperious, taking the easy W here in Heat C. Second place, going to go to Robot. Who's going to finish out in third? We're going to see Streets, our lap traffic, on his way through the start-finish. He's going to get onto that lead lap now as Griff works his way through the rear view mirror section and into the multiple choice gate as he finishes out pretty comfortably here in third place in the green. We got Griff working his way around the track. He's going to have that timeout timer that DRL loves to use in its sim. He's going to get 20 seconds to finish out as far as he can. And he will get the appropriate points for that. And it's going to be a little bit of a close one for Streets. He's only got 5 seconds left. I don't know if he's going to make it. He ended up in a heat with what I think will end up being one of our faster pilots. Oh, and just barely misses the timeout. Oh, not enough battery. So Street's going to finish out in fourth place in Heat C. And we're going to be moving on to our next heat of pilots.
This is Tuesday, Streets. We're going to need you to try harder.
Yes,
Activating Tryhard mode.
Tryhard mode activated.
Love it.
Love it.
All right, here we go. We're going to be looking for round number 2. Here are your pilots. We're going to be looking for Free, Donovan 86, KB FPV, Potato FPV, Leadfingers, and Z Stone. You guys are up next.
Good luck.
Good luck, boys.
Let's go free.
Fondle them sticks.
And a beautiful rainbow of quads as we go on to lap number 1. Oh, what a sight this is to see with some amazing flying from our B group. We're going to lose Leadfingers as KB pushes his way onto the lead. He's going to be hotly contested, though, by Free in the white drone and Potato in the orange drone. Who is going to take lead in this race right now? That's going to be KB, but there are several close battles going on behind him. There's going to be a battle between the white and orange drone, Free and Potato respectively, as well as Donovan, and Z-Stone. And as we see Potato going down there, and that's going to let some passes happen from all the other pilots. As Potato gets pushed at the back of the pack, is he going to be able to recover from that one? It seems he may be able to a little bit as we see mistakes from some of our other pilots as well. We're going to see Z-Stone have a little bit of a bobble there. Potato making it up into that 5th place position, now in, still in 5th place. Chasing down the yellow LEDs of Leadfingers, it's Donovan sitting in the number 3 position right now. As Free now on the hunt, trying to catch up to KB, going on to the 3rd and final lap. Some great racing here from all of our pilots, some pretty awesome excitement as we see Free on the hunt, trying to chase down KB. He's done it once before. Is he going to be able to do it again? And it looks like the mistake from KB is going to let Free successfully catch up to KB. As Free now, our leader on the final portion of lap number 3, KB in 2nd place. It's Donovan in the 3rd place position with Leadfingers and Potato hot on their heels. Free working his way through the multiple choice gate. He makes it through clean, and Free is going to take the win in Heat B. KB in 2nd place. It's Donovan in 3rd.
Jeez.
I saw you go down, KB. I was like, oh no.
I went down a few times. I went down more than once.
Yeah, same. But we ended up next to each other.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, good.
it
I'll
looked
be
like
there
you
by
went down
round
pretty
6.
hard.
Yeah.
Great racing pilots. Definitely enjoyed that one. Alright, we're going to be advancing to our next heat. Let's see if Rotor Hazard wants to fight with me. I'm sure it will.
Yeah, I didn't know that gate was multiple choice. It kept going through the middle.
It makes it easy when we name it the multiple choice gate.
It just picks the middle because it displays the goal in the center.
Yeah.
Alright, so our next group of pilots, our A group, fastest group of pilots so far, are going to be Hyper, 3080 Bot, A-Drone, Solus, Sociopath, and AC. You guys are in the cockpit now.
Need Donovan to swap with AC.
Looking for Donovan to drop on down.
Sorry about that.
Wonderful. Alright, go ahead and ready up when you are prepared to race, pilots.
Would have been so funny if you both switched back to pink. Oh, there it is.
Uh-oh. Is there yellow?
There's
we're
a
just
yellow.
gonna go with it. We're just going with it.
Just roll with it. You guys are good.
Nice, good call.
You guys are trying to get all color coordinated.
Next time we're all gonna do green.
No. Sky green?
Sky green?
Someone's
Yeah.
green. Here we go. We're off and away with Heat A. This is our fastest group of pilots via points total so far. Right now, Hyper in the lead. Is he going to be able to sustain it? A beautiful line there over the twisty bit as we are on board with Hyper. Now checking the orbit view to see who is in the background for him. Not a whole lot going on, honestly. Closest rival right now going to be 3080 Bot. Trying to chase him down, but he's going to have a little bit closer contention between Solus and A-Drone. A-Drone in the pink drone, Solus in the... What color is that? It's like teal? It's like a dull teal color. So right now your running order going to be Hyper in the purple, 3080 Bot in yellow, Solus in teal. Now making the pass on A-Drone. Let's go ahead and check out that battle between Solus and A-Drone as they work their way up through the Ascension Gate, down through the Halo. And some really close racing here so far on lap number 2 as we see Hyper already on the rear portion of the rear view mirror, making his way down through the multiple choice gate and creating a new lead lap for us. Second place still going to be 3080 Bot pretty solidly in his own little gap right here, down through the split S gate. Trying to chase down Hyper, but Hyper's just got the pace that we haven't seen from any of the other pilots so far. So despite this being a relatively fast lap for all of these pilots so far, I think that Hyper is going to be setting a new pace here to see if anybody can match that. But oh, we got a three-way battle for third place. Make that a four-way battle for third place. No, yeah, three-way battle. It's going to be Solus, Adrone, and Sociopath all trying to catch up, trying to get that third place position, and it's going to be Adrone stealing it from Solus. Sociopath getting 5th place just behind Solus.
Personal best.
Hey.
Great racing, pilots. And let's see if we can get some results. So we're going to get to see our results start to populate here in real time as our race director goes ahead and finishes adding points and times from all of our previous pilots. So here's your points so far. We saw in round 1 Hyper taking top points, beating out
What are you doing?
several pilots. 3080 bot in 2nd place from round 1 and Free in 3rd. Looks like Adrone was able to snag himself 13 points. Solus got 12 and Sociopath got 11 in round 1. So once we get points from them for round 2, I think we're going to see them jump up. But I really don't think we're going to see anybody taking down Hypers. He just beat out everyone in the A group, the fastest group, so likely to be the fastest time by a large margin. Hyper making it look easy here. Coming from the podium last race, I don't think we're going to see a podium's not good enough for Hyper. He's trying to go for the W in every race that he tries, and that's why he's one of the best pilots to have on during Tryhard Tuesday, where we find all the sweatiest tryhards, pit them against each other, and find out which one's the fastest. And right now, we've got points from everybody, so this is going to be your leaderboard right now. This is up to date, so it's going to be Hyper, 2 points in the lead, beating out 3080 bot in 2nd place, Adrone in 3rd right now, Solus in 4th, Free in 5th, and we've got a tie actually between Solus and Free, both with 23 points. Sociopath going to be sitting in that number 6 position, KBFBV in 7th, and Donovan 86 in 8th place. He's going to be our bubble boy, as he's only 1 point ahead of AC. So the top 8 here are going to be moving on.
Who's Bubble Boy?
It's going to be Donovan.
Sky. For a
No,
second
no.
there.
That was
I
me,
got
'cause
server
doing
muted.
Yeah, I was doing race director stuff, guys. I mute him when I do that.
Oh, gotcha.
If you care what I say, you can turn on the live stream.
We can hear you for 99% of it. Sometimes I gotta cut in, so I mute you.
That's why I'm pretty sure the only viewer on the live stream right now is probably my wife. Oh, I take that back. We got people in the chat. What's up, chat?
Let's go, boys.
And what's up, wife? Alright, so that's going to be it. We're going to jump on into... Well, I guess I got to generate the next round, so I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick.
Is the link even in the Discord? Hello?
I did not put it on the Discord. I put it on our Facebook.
I'm gonna put it in the Discord so I don't have to go to the Facebook.
Yeah, for sure. Our link to our Discord, though, is in the live stream. So that's pretty convenient. So if you want to do some sim racing, you can go ahead and click on that link. We got events going on every single week, just about. And you can feel free to join them, noob or tryhard. Either way, we love to have you. So it looks like we've got our next group of pilots all gridded up. It's going to be Griff, Robot, Streets, and Z-Stone. That is going to be our next group of pilots.
Oh, they're ready to race. They're already going.
And here we go. A nice launch from all 4 of our pilots here so far. We're going to be Robot in the red drone, Z-Stone in the green, Griff in the lighter green, and Streets in the blue, working their way through lap number 1. Robot down through the halo, working his way on to the rear view mirror section where he's going to get a glimpse of some of his trailing opponents, now making it onto the multiple choice gate. Which one's he going to choose? The tightest one possible, of course. That's going to be the fastest line for Robot in the lead in the red. He's going to be hunted down by Z-Stone, working his way down through that split S, but the mistake from Robot is going to let Z-Stone play a little bit of catch-up, but the mistake from Z-Stone now going to let Robot jump right back into that lead. Z-Stone now having to contend with Griff. Which of those green drones is going to end up on top as they come down through the halo? It is anyone's game for that second place position, but right now the first place position looking pretty solidly in Robot's hands. Some nice racing from him here as he works his way onto the 3rd and final lap. We're getting a couple little leg spikes from him. Hopefully he doesn't disconnect. If he does, as long as he just records his time, he can send it to us. But right now it's going to be Robot in the lead, Z-Stone in 2nd place, Griff in 3rd, Streets in 4th. And Robot looking like he is on a winning pace here in the C group. Working his way onto the rear view mirror section. Beautiful racing as he makes his way down through the multiple choice gate, and it's going to be the win for Robot. 2nd place going to go to Z-Stone, Griff in 3rd, and Streets going to finish out in 4th in this one. But it's all about that personal time. We'll see if Streets can sneak his way into the finish here. I think he's going to be able to do it. He's got plenty of time this time. So we see Streets working his way through that multiple choice gate. Final gate of the lap. And it's going to be a solid finish for Streets, finishing out with a 2:33. Great racing. We're going to be moving on.
That was a personal.
Oh, let's go. Congrats on the personal. I think we're going to see several of those tonight. We tend to keep practice pretty short because we like to see the progression come into play for our pilots. So our next group of pilots is going to be KB, FPV, Donovan, AC, Imperius, Leadfingers, and Potato. This is personal racing for all of these pilots. They're trying to get that dub. They've been racing each other all week on the leaderboards, and now they're going to get to do it head-to-head here in the DRL sim, where we're running the Street League format. We are Street League Drone Racing. We are a spec drone racing league where you can come and race IRL spec drone racing. At a pretty high level, we have some of the best pilots in the world competing, and we've got quite the season going on right now. We've got our 3rd race just completed here, and we have a couple more to go before our championship at the end of the year. So here we go. This is going to be our B group, 2nd fastest group of pilots. And a nice rainbow of quads in the air right now. Going to be KB, though, heading up the pack. Free in that stalking position that he was in the last heat. Trying to capitalize on any of those mistakes that we see pilots frequently make in the early rounds of points rounds.
Not me, Sky.
See Free. Oh, that's AC, excuse me. I'm used to seeing Free just behind KB, but he's actually moved himself up into the A group. KB trying to fight now to take it from him, so KB's going to try to set a time that Free can't touch. And so far, it looks like he may be on pace to do so, but this time KB is going to have to deal with a different white drone behind him. It's going to be AC in the white, and Potato in 3rd, if it will show it to me, which it will not. There we go. KB chasing down, or Potato chasing down AC, chasing down KB as we make our way through the rear view mirror section, where we get to see our favorite pilots double as much. Now working their way onto the lead lap. We're on board now with AC chasing down KB. Is he going to be able to do it? I don't think so. KB is just on a tear right now as he makes his way down through the Halo Gate. Some great racing so far from KB. We're going to get to see him work his way onto the rear view mirror section and through our multiple choice gate, where he's going to take the win. AC going to be your second place finisher, chased down by Potato, but Potato not going to be able to catch him through the finish. Imperious, though, all the way in the B group after just one race, setting a really fast time, beating out several pilots, even though he missed some of the practice session. So that's going to be your results.
Nice time, KB.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, nice one.
It's no 146, but thank you.
It's a nice time.
Some great results
That was
there
a PB too, though. Wow.
from all of our pilots. Is that PB going to be enough to take top points, KB, do you think?
This round, besides Hyper, maybe.
Okay, so you think Hyper's on the roll right now?
Yeah, he has it.
Well, we're going to get to enjoy watching Hyper race. We're going to let that roll progress as we're up now with Heat A. It's going to be Hyper, 3080 bot, Adrone, Solus, Free, and Sociopath. You guys are up next. Let's go ahead and take a look at the points board so far. You may see a couple of updates coming through. You'll notice all the pilots with 0 points in round 3, they either have not run or have not yet had a time entered. So we're going to have to take the total points on the right with a little bit of a grain of salt. As we get our next group of pilots readied up. But Hyper pretty solidly in the lead here, even though he hasn't even yet obtained points, but those top 6 pilots are going to be the ones racing here next. So it's going to be Hyper, 3080 bot, Adrone, KB, FPV, Solus, Free, AC. Not AC, Free. As we go off and away with our next group of pilots. And it looks like well, not exactly a slow launch for Hyper, but it took him a minute there to get ahead of the pack. We normally see him start to diverge from the pack a little bit earlier on in the pack, but right now he's gone ahead and got himself that lead anyway. Doesn't really make a difference. I think that speaks to the pushing that we're seeing from the other pilots here in the A group. And Free, he's not knocking on the door of KB, now he's knocking on the door of Hyper. Free, your runner-up from our previous Sim Night race. Now working on a second W here. And a little mistake there, gonna let Solus and Sociopath make the pass, but Adrone there as well in the pink. All 4 of them together down through the Halo Gate. We're gonna have some beautiful racing here as they work their way onto the 3rd lap. Through the rear view mirror section they go. Hyper is essentially gone. You're gonna see him working his way through the multiple choice gate as all 4 of these pilots work their way through the multiple choice gate now as well. Onto that lead lap, the 3rd lap, the final lap, and who's gonna be taking it? We think it's gonna be Hyper for the 1st place position, but we have no idea who is going to take that 2nd place position as we see several of our pilots go down. It's going to be Sociopath and Solus taking the brunt of that blow as Free and Adrone battle it out. Adrone starting to extend his legs down through the Halo Gate. Adrone now on that rear view mirror section just ahead of Free. Is there anything Free is going to be able to do to take the win? We're going to see Hyper go ahead and finish it on up, taking the win. Who is going to be 2nd place? Adrone in the purple, Free in the white, and it's going to be Adrone taking the win. 0.2 of a second ahead of Free.
Man, I had such a good first lap, and then I got stuck at the top of the thing.
Awesome racing, pilots.
First lap was a 36.4.
We're going to go ahead and get those points tabulated while we generate our next heat. But let's go ahead and take a look at our results so far. So some awesome racing here so far. We've got, if this wants to populate, I don't think it will. Let's give it a little kick in the pants. There we go. All right. So right now we are looking at Hyper still solidly in the lead. And even more so now as he gets his next set of points from round 3. We're going to have 3080 bot in the second place position. KB in third, only 1 point ahead of Solus. Solus been very consistent so far. And we're actually going to see some shuffling here as we've got now all of our points for all of our pilots. So your running order going to be Hyper, 3080 bot, Free, KB FPV in 4th, Solus in 5th, Sociopath in 6th, AC in 7th, and A-Drone in 8th. He's only going to be 2 points ahead of Potato, so your new Bubble Boy is going to be A-Drone. Imperious starting to work his way up there as well. Imperious with 23 points as well, tied with Potato, so definitely going to be some opportunities for passing there. We're going to go ahead.
That A-Drone move up.
Oh yes, that's true actually. Sorry about that. So A-Drone got his points, and he is in second place. He has actually bumped down 3080 bot.
No shit.
3080 bot been very consistent, but A-Drone a little bit more speed on top of the consistency, and that's going to earn him 2 points more so far than 3080 bot. Your Bubble Boy now going to be AC, with Potato and Imperious still battling it out. Tied. AC and Sociopath actually tied as well for the bubble position. So some super close racing so far. Alright, we're going to go ahead and generate our next set of heats. It's going to be round number 4. We're going to be racing 6 rounds tonight before we go into our Elite 8 racing. That's essentially our finals. But it looks like we've got heats generated for round 4, so we're going to go ahead and introduce our next group of pilots. Heat C is going to be Robot, Z-Stone, Griff, and Streets. You guys are going to be racing up next.
Dude, Group C is on it tonight. Let's go, boys.
I can't even transition fast enough. They're just killing it.
Fellas.
Here we go. We're going to be off and away with Streets as he chases down the red LEDs of Robot. Robot working his way now down through the Split S. He's going to be hotly contested by Z-Stone in the green drone as they work their way through the twisty bit, down through the low gate, the Ascension gate, and then the Halo. Some great racing from our pilots here. So we see the green LEDs of Z-Stone locking onto the red of Robot. Who is going to be taking the win here in Heat C? Robot has been pretty dominant so far, but right now it looks like Z-Stone trying to push on those red tails of Robot here on lap number 2. Some great battling between these two pilots. It's going to be Robot versus Z-Stone. And it looks like Z-Stone now capitalizing on the mistake from Robot. Z-Stone now pushing into the lead, a position he hasn't found himself yet in Heat C. Going on to the lead lap in that first place position. Robot now on the hunt, trying to catch on up. He's got 1 lap to do it, and it looks like this may not be... Oh, he had a little mistake there, but he recovers extremely quickly from the bump with the flag through the twisty bit. Robot chasing down Z-Stone. Is he going to be able to catch him? There's only a couple seconds left in the heat. Some great flying from Robot, but he's pushing. He's got everything he has put into this next couple turns. It's going to be the rear view mirror section. And it looks like the mistake there from Z-Stone turning the wrong way. It's going to let Robot jump back into the lead, and he takes the win back and gets himself first place in Heat C. Z-Stone going to have to settle for second that time He's going to be hungry for blood, though, going into round number 5. Can't imagine he's going to take that one too lightly. As Griff works his way around for 3rd place. And we're going to see Streets trying to finish on up and beat that timer. That was a killer round, though, for Robot, recovering from several mistakes really excellently, holding his composure and surviving to the end. And we're going to see Streets here working his way through the last portion of the track. He's got 15 seconds left. I think he'll be able to do it just fine, working his way through the multiple choice gate. 8 seconds left. Is he going to be able to do it? No, he doesn't have the battery for it. Unfortunate. Pushing the drone to its absolute limits. Sorry about that, Streets.
Oh, good, man.
Crashes.
Like a good old battery sacrifice.
Yeah, we sacrificed that one to the lipo gods.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was there. I
All right, our next group of pilots, we're going to be looking for Sociopath. Oh, I just lost it. Here we go. We're going to be looking for Sociopath, AC, Potato, Imperious, Donovan, and Leadfingers. You guys are up next. Robot, if we could have you jump down. There we go. So again, we're looking for Sociopath, AC, Potato, Imperious, Donovan, and Leadfingers. These will be our next group of pilots for Heat B in round number 4. We've got 2 more rounds to go of racing before we determine who our finalists are, our top 8 pilots who will be battling it out for the win tonight. Beautiful launch from all of our pilots, working their way through the whole shot gate. And now on to lap number 1. Some great flying from everyone. We're going to be on board with Potato and the pink LEDs, chasing down the rest of the pack. It's going to be Sociopath looking like he's in the lead. AC actually now taking it from him. And Imperious there as well. Who is going to be your leader coming through the rear view mirror section? Potato's pushing to be that guy. Is he going to be able to come through the multiple choice gate? A very tight line from him there as he chases down Sociopath, who's in the lead right now. AC in 2nd place. Imperious battling it out for the 3rd place with Potato. A nice split-S gate from our pilots there. Potato actually with one of the best lines that we've seen there so far, and he's going to push all the way into the lead. An amazing pass, passing several pilots in one turn. Potato's now on a tear down through the halo. He's going to be chased by Imperious and Sociopath. Incredible racing here in Heat B. It's going to be Potato, Sociopath in orange, Imperious in blue. Who is going to be your winner? On the 3rd lap they go. The final lap of the race. Sociopath still being chased down by Imperious and Sociopath. It's all going to come down to this twisty bit. Who's going to take it? Sociopath not able to do it. He's going to go down, and it's just going to be a battle between Imperious and Potato. Down through the halo they go, both pushing for the win. Imperious now pulling side by side with Potato on the rear view mirror section. Who's it going to go to? 1 turn left in the race. Potato gains himself a little bit of an advantage. 1 turn left to go through the multiple choice gate, and it's going to be Potato holding on to the win. Imperious making a valiant effort. Only about a 1/10 of a second back. And AC going to sneak in with the 3rd, capitalizing on the mistake of Sociopath, who finishes out 4th in that one. Awesome, awesome racing from our pilots.
Better race, guys.
I think we're going to get to see more of that in finals, and I cannot wait for it.
Oh, dude. Sociopath, you reeled me in right at the last minute, dude. That's so close.
All right, so
How does
here
he do that to you?
Here we go. That's going to be your results so far. In your next group of pilots, it's going to be Hyper, Adrone, 3080 Bot, Free, KB, and Solus. You are up next.
Jose.
Let me in.
Yeah,
Sorry, my game is frozen. Can't click on spectate.
I got you.
If only there was a programmatic way, like maybe some sort of web call or something we could do that would let us do this automatically with the timer. Oh well, maybe in the future. Here we go. We've got our pilots loading on up. We're going to go ahead and kick off this round. The music's bumping, the vibes are good, and we've got pilots on the podium ready to do some racing. This is your A group of pilots, the fastest group of pilots for the night so far. They've accrued the most points in order to be in this fast group, and they're essentially racing head-to-head with each other. These are the pilots who they are in contention with race-wise, race event-wise. And they're going to be in contention as well heat-wise, as we see some beautiful lines here from Hyper, finessing that drone through the course, trying to get as much speed out of it as he can. But he's going to be hotly contested by KB, who has now started to come into his race pace here. He's in that blue drone, contesting that purple drone of Hyper. Through the rear view mirror section they go. Who is it going to be? They're side by side now, going into that multiple choice gate. We thought Hyper might go uncontested here, but it looks like KB is not going to let that be the case as they go on to lap number 2. Hyper going to have to work for round number 4 here as he works his way through the twisty bit, and it seems that KB's got that line figured out. It's just going to be a matter of dialing it in and taking that win from Hyper. Is he going to be able to do it? Hyper with the mistake, and it's going to be KB now in the lead. And it looks like Hyper with an unexpected reset there, and that's going to let 3080 Bot now even make the pass, as well as Adrone, as KB goes on to the lead lap in the lead. And this is going to be his first win. He's still going to have to beat the times from the pilots in the B group, but we know that he's got the pace to do that as he works his way through the low gate, up through the ascension. The halo now for KB. A beautiful run from KB. He earned it. He put the pressure on Hyper. That was definitely not an unforced error from Hyper. It was very much forced. KB pushed the issue, and he's going to push the win as he goes through the multiple choice gate in the lead. KB taking the win in Heat A, second place. Who's it going to go to? It looks like Adrone battling it out with Hyper. Hyper takes it from him, getting back that second place at least. And Adrone going to have to settle for third in that one. 3080 Bot getting fourth. So we're already seeing the racing heat up here in round number 4. 2 more rounds to go as we jump on into round number 5. We're going to go ahead and finish on up tallying our points, and then we will be kicking off our next round of racing. Here are your results so far. So give us one moment while we get that set up. In the meantime, here are your results going into round number 5. You're going to see the pilots with 0 points right now, still getting tallied. But it looks like we have results for our top 7 pilots right now. So those results, well, those still could change. Those could change. We could have some pilots earning some points there that would change their position otherwise, and we know that with how hotly contested things are, it's gonna get interesting. But there it is. That's gonna be all of our points tallied. So Hyper now with a 9-point lead over Adrone in second place. Adrone only 1 point ahead of KB and 3080 Bot. Both of those pilots have 49 points, tied for the 3rd place position. Free in 5th place right now with 40, only 1 point ahead of Solus. Potato FPV in 7th, only 1 point ahead of AC. And he is the Bubble Boy actually, so we have a tie with our Bubble Boys right now. AC and Sociopath. Oh, sorry, a three-way tie between AC, Sociopath, and Imperious. Leadfinger's only 2 points behind them. So, as usual, our bubble has just started to heat up. And I think the pressure will only continue to build as we continue to go. So here we go. It's going to be round 5, Heat C. These are your pilots. We're going to be looking for Robot, Z-Stone, Griff, and Streets. Go ahead and ready up when you are prepared to race. We're going to be kicking this off momentarily. Whew, it's been quite a race so far. All the way down to our last group of pilots, we've had exciting racing, and that's kind of what we love about the Street League format. It's going to take the fastest pilots and group them up. Going to take your mid-pack, bunch them up, and, well, your lower tiers of pilots are going to get to have fun too, because they're going to be battling it out here in Heat C. Z-Stone going to try to get that win on Robot if he's able to. It's a tricky thing to do. Robot's been super consistent so far as he works his way through that Halo gate. He's going to be chasing Z-Stone. Z-Stone in the green quad. Robot in the red. Oh, and a little bit of a bump there from Z-Stone. It's going to let Robot jump. Well, yep, there it is. There's the pass from Robot. Now finally getting ahead of Z-Stone. A nice line there from him. And that's going to let him stay ahead and possibly even extend his lead a little bit on Z-Stone. Not much, as we've still got a race on our hands. A little bit of a bump there from Z-Stone. It's going to let Robot extend the lead now a little bit more, about a tail's length ahead of Z-Stone. Griff going to be sitting in that third place position. Streets in fourth. Who's going to be taking home the win here? It may be Robot again. He's been pretty dominant here in our C group. Not quite able to crack into that B group. We know that bubble position super contended for. So it's a hard nut to crack. As Robot with a beautiful run.
I need you to save the times of this race because I got kicked out of the lobby.
Okay, I got you. Some beautiful racing from our pilots here as they work their way onto the rear view mirror section, and I happen to miss that Z-Stone and Robot have a little bit of racing going on side by side into the finish, and we have the exact same time from both of our pilots. We have no idea who won that race.
Race off.
I think actually no, we do. We do. We know that it counts down to the 1,000th. So we're going to go based on the leaderboard. So it's going to be Robot taking the win in that one. Z-Stone in second place by less than 1/100th of a second. I don't think we have ever had a time that close in all of Street League sim racing history. And we're going to have Griff in the third place position. Streets finishing out in fourth. I'm going to go ahead and drop our times in the chat. What a race. Robot.
Good race, fellas.
And Z-Stone absolutely battling.
Who is the group leader now? You gotta make me group leader so I can fix the drone.
I got you.
Thank you. Oh no.
Oh, did you click the wrong way?
Hold on. Okay, hold on. I gotta bop out and bop back in.
Cool.
Not the first time. We know how to fix this.
Is it? Do you have to left click or right click?
No, that part doesn't matter.
Okay.
All right, now make me the group leader.
Okay, so I will let our race director go ahead and why don't you mute me? Talk a little bit about Street League. Tell the people what we're all about while you get the next group of pilots sorted.
All right.
Just so you guys know, we're going to be looking for Potato FPV, AC, Sociopath, Imperious, Leadfingers, and Donovan. That's going to be your B group. So for those of you who have not yet heard of Street League Drone Racing, we are kicking off our first really serious season here of drone racing, and it's not on the sim, it's actually in real life, but we enjoy doing sim races because it lets us reach out to our awesome community and get to enjoy racing with them. So this is kind of what you're looking for in Street League Drone Racing. We race spec drones, and they come in all different shapes and sizes, and obviously they have to match spec. But one of my favorite personal parts about the spec is it requires LEDs, and that makes us some of the coolest looking drone racing in the game. We also tend to race bigger, heavier drones that just have a lot more performance in terms of durability, and also really improve the type of racing that you can have. So that's kind of what we're about. We're Spec Racing League, and we've got a lot of really fun innovation that has been brought about mostly by our community. And we've just been going around the country enjoying all of the awesome racing that our pilots have been able to offer. And right now we've gotten 3 races of that, and they have been awesome. And we've actually had the same pilot win all 3. So right now Amari is our season leader going into the championship so far. But right now we're going to be looking for our leaders here in Heat B to potentially be trying to stack some more points and bump themselves up into the A group. Here we go. We've got a podium loading up. We have quite the collage here of pilots. They've been battling it out. But who is going to take the win here? A beautiful array of pilots going on through our hole shot gate and down through the split S. Who is going to be our leader, our winner in Heat B? And are they going to be able to advance themselves into the A group? Several of these pilots on the bubble. And I believe that the bubble in this group is actually going to lie in the 3rd place position. So really, the goal here is to get 2nd or better. Right now, 2nd place is going to be Imperious, chasing down those pink LEDs of Potato. Some great racing from Imperious, trying to hunt him down. He's going to have to contest with AC in the white drone. As Imperious works his way down through the halo, Potato just hanging on there. Some nice lines from him, not really cracking under the pressure. He's definitely got the experience in IRL racing, and he's showing it here in the Street League Sim Nights with all of our tryhardiest pilots as they work their way through the rear view mirror section and down through the multiple choice gate. The start finish and the final lap, it's going to be Potato in the lead, Imperious in 2nd, AC in 3rd. The twisty bit is a nice bit for Imperious as he pushes to make the pass on Potato, but it's not going to quite work out. Potato still hanging on to that momentum, using every scrap of it he's got to accelerate through the final portions of the track. Potato on a tear here, not going to let Imperious make the pass. Imperious doesn't need to though, because 2nd place is going to secure him a spot in the top 8. And it's going to be only... Oh my god, it happened again. It just happened again. It really just happened again.
2 times in one night.
Potato.
The closest time we've seen in Street League yet.
We just had back-to-back heats, ladies and gentlemen, with the closest racing we have ever seen in Street League drone racing. Now, something you'll notice is that those drones were slightly separated. They were about 2 feet apart as they went through that start-finish, but that doesn't account for network lag. So the time that you see on this board is the time locally recorded by the computer. And of course, we're going to see the positions shuffle because DRL gets confused sometimes. But the times that are posted are the times that the local computer recorded and reported to the server. So those are the most accurate times they can possibly be. And there's a 1,000th digit, which will determine who our winner was. We saw that Potato was given the win, and Imperious got 2nd by less than 1/100th of a second. That is how close the racing is here at Street League. that is why we believe in spec racing, and we've spent a tremendous amount of time working on that spec to make sure that it is as awesome as it can be, and our pilots have worked as hard as they can possibly work to make sure that their skills are polished and up to the task of showcasing such awesome, awesome drone racing. So that is going to be it for Heat A. We are going to go ahead and save some times and check out our results. So here are our results so far. We're going to get to watch those be tallied up.
Get in here, free.
But right now, these are going to be your race leaders. Going into round number 4, it was Hyper, Adrone, KB, 3080 Bot, and Free and Solus. Those were your top 6. 7th and 9th going to be AC and Free in that order, and then Solus on the bubble. But we're having some times come in right now, so we're gonna see those positions shuffle up. And I'm already seeing, I think we're gonna have several more ties. This is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be really close. If we have any ties in the 8th through 16th position, like theoretically we could have a tie between 8th and 16th, but if we have any ties from 8th down, that's a race off, and that's how we're gonna settle that one. But we haven't had that happen yet, I don't think. But there's a first for everything, so I would look forward to it if it were a thing.
Alright, I think our pilots are ready up whenever you're prepared.
We are still missing times, it looks like, from Hyper, Adrone, KB, and 3080 Bot. Did we get those?
Aren't they about the race?
Yes.
Or no?
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry
we
about
should
that.
get back
That's
to
the
it.
next heat. That's my bad. Okay. We haven't. That race was so good. I forgot that we haven't even gotten to the best racing yet. It's still to come. All right, here we go. So this is gonna be your A group. It's gonna be Hyper, KB, Adrone, 3080 Bot, Free, and Solus, all vying for that top position. And we may have to rerun this one.
I think it's broken.
It's very broken.
No,
Mine
it's
is
broken.
Wow, it is broken. That's impressive.
Go ahead and do me a favor, pilots. Go ahead and hit Control-Shift-L. We're gonna rerun this one, I think.
Also, I don't know if Control-Shift-L works anymore. We might need to pull a log manually.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and exit out of the lobby, pilots. Or actually, hit escape. Hit exit.
Yeah, I did that. It worked.
And it
Alt F4, baby.
should bring you back into the main lobby.
Yeah, I alt F4.
Okay. The pilots who are flying may have been broken enough that... I think it's safe to say this lobby's bugged. We should probably just start a new one.
I hope the lobby's bugged. We use a bug to make the whole thing work.
You're right.
You want me to make a fresh one?
Yeah, I think it'd probably be the best option.
Alright, can do. I'm gonna make it. I hope everyone remembers what the password is.
It is free practice time.
I'll drop it in the sim chat, sim race chat.
Thank you. Alright.
Well, in the meantime, pilots, let's go ahead and take a look at this points breakdown, because this is pretty exciting. So, right now, it's going to be interesting. So we don't yet have times from 4 of our pilots. There should be 2 more pilots who don't have times. Aha, there they are. Free and Solus are actually down in 9th and 10th place as a result of 8th through 5th place earning points. So Free and Solus are definitely in a battle to make sure that they are actually
Open, by the way, guys.
able to compete.
Still loading into the game.
Everybody stuck? I'm stuck on storing maps.
It took me a long time. It just went past it.
Oh yeah, there you go. It just did it.
Did we break the whole sim?
The whole thing's down. It
It's like
couldn't handle all of our
It's a lot of
close
people.
racing.
Hey, I'm back.
We made it calculate too many digits.
I'm gonna let you mute me and unmute me when we have our next race ready to rock.
All right, you go on.
I'm gonna talk to our live stream. I'm gonna tell them about Street League drone racing. So as we were saying before, one of my personal favorite parts about Street League drone racing, so many LEDs. This is what a typical Street League racing drone will look like. A lot of pilots like to use the Project 399 practice rig. It was a rig that Jordan Temkin made originally in his endeavors to practice for DRL. And we've got several variations that have come to be as a result of that. We've got some pod frames. One of our pilots, Imperius, also has a frame. He calls it the Kari. And it is a modification of the 399 practice rig as well, with some of his own frame designing techniques built into it. And that's kind of one of the things we love. We've got all sorts of pilots coming together and working out different ways to find a way to make their quad as fast as they can within the limits of the spec. And they're also working to become as good a pilot as they can and push as hard as they can to try to take the win. We've also done some really interesting things with cryptocurrency. We have a cryptocurrency called Street Cred that we use to represent the pilot's season points. And at the end of the season, in order to get into champs, you're going to have to spend that Street Cred for a ticket. And you're going to have to bid your Street Cred in order to get that ticket. So essentially, Street Cred, your season points, will earn actual real-world value as the season goes on and as it gets more difficult to get to champs.
We're racing, Skype.
So here we go. We're going to be jumping into racing already.
Oh
After
shit!
some-
Hey, the sim has. I just noticed it as it was starting. The sim has my Xbox controller as the one defaulted to after restarting.
Oh.
If you,
no.
I'm not gonna be able to fly this heat, I guess. I gotta change it in the options.
we
The one I
will.
opened, but I forgot to change it before we started.
Let's do it. Let's do a rerun.
We might be stuck anyways.
We got drones on podiums this time. Yeah, it'll stop.
Yeah, we'll rerun this one just so you guys know.
Just give it a Q after the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just go ahead and give it a Q. Let's let Free make sure he's able to fly, and then he can hit Q, and we'll.
Good to go.
All right.
You'll be able to change it now, right? Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys.
All good.
I put that in as a bug. If you have a radio and an Xbox controller, it picks the Xbox every time.
Oh, interesting.
It knows what's better.
It knows what's best. You should be using an Xbox controller.
It did that with my wheel earlier.
Yeah.
I'm gonna press the sim right now. So of these two controllers, which one do you think the person probably wants to use? It's not this one.
The steering wheel. The steering wheel.
It's the steering wheel.
My right brake pedal does pitch.
There you go. We did have a blast one time loading up.
You're good, Free?
Yep, I'm good.
Cool.
I noticed it because the ready button had a Y on it, like right as it started. I was like, oh no.
Oh man.
Why would it not be A?
No.
A is go, right?
That makes me angrier than selecting the Xbox controller.
All right, here we go. We got lights, we got tones, and away we go. Finally now with heat letter A. This is our fastest group of pilots in the night so far in round number 5. This is the second to last round for them. Working their way through the twisty bit. Some really interesting lines starting to emerge as we see both Hyper and KB finding their stride. KB, a little bit of a late bloomer tonight, but he has definitely found a way to the front of the pack, now taking the lead ahead of Hyper. Going into the multiple choice gate, I think it's going to take everything Hyper's got to be able to take the win here in finals, as KB is starting to look really strong, and we're definitely going to have a battle, barring any incidents here in the Elite 8. Interestingly, I don't believe KB is second place yet on the points leaderboard. So he may end up having to contend with Hyper a little bit in the semifinals if that doesn't work out perfectly for him. A nice rear view mirror section though for both of them, side by side, getting to see the rest of the pack behind them. Through the multiple choice gate, who's it going to be in the lead? Right now it's looking like Hyper is in the lead. KB in the second place position now, working his way down, and the mistake from Hyper going to let KB get onto the lead much more solidly now through the low gate. Is Hyper going to be able to catch up? Only about a couple tenths of a second back. Down through the halo gate he goes. Doesn't have much to work with here left on the track. It's just going to be the rear view mirror section. Chasing down KB. We're on board with Hyper, trying to make the move. It's a super tight turn. Every strategy he's got, but it's not going to be enough. KB taking the win with a 148.79. Hyper finishing out in second, only 0.2 of a second back. Free gonna finish out in third. 3080 bot in fourth again.
Damn you, Free.
That was close. I kept seeing the little thing going between third and fourth. I was like, oh no, somebody's right next to me.
Love to see it. So that's gonna be it for the round. I will try to free up the timer so that our race director can add those times. So we're going to see this board on the right side of the screen start to update as times are added. There we go, there's the expanded version. So let's see, looks like we've only got a couple more pilots, so we're going to wait for those to tally before we try to dissect them too much.
Alright, times are updated.
Alright, there it is. So we've got heats generated, and our next group of pilots is going to be loading in. That's going to be Griff, Robot, Streets, and Z-Stone. Looking at our board though, Hyper pretty dominantly in the lead, and KB now jumping up into that second place position quite solidly now. Got about a gap of 6 points. 3080 bot with 59, Adrone in fourth, Free in fifth, Potato in sixth, Imperious in seventh, Solus in that 8th place bubble position, tied with AC. So we've got a bubble boy tie still, but between two different pilots now. We did have a three-way tie. Imperious now has moved on up into 7th place. Sociopath is only 1 point down though from that tie in the bubble.
Alright, we had a pilot drop, so these boys are actually ready to run.
Alright, here we go. So some great racing tonight so far. This is the last round of points rounds. This is the pilot's last opportunity to gain enough points to make it into the top 8. We're going to be looking at the bottom 13 here, racing their hearts out. This one's going to be for pride between Streets, Griff, and Robot. Z-Stone having to dip out, and that's going to allow Robots a lot more clean air. He's going to try to beat some of the pilots in the B group anyway, though, because that's what it's all about. Let's go ahead and jump on board with Robots in the red drone. Let's go ahead and get some stick overlay as well, and you'll get to see the types of control inputs it takes to pilot one of these drones. It's not quite as intuitive as you might think. There's 4 axes to have very precise control over to make sure that you can angle the drone exactly the direction you need it to go to get the thrust to go the way you want. And the interesting part is because you don't have tires, there's no friction basically whatsoever. It's just the air drag, which isn't much. You can drift for several hundred feet given just, you know, a couple miles per hour. So you really have to not only input the correct movement, but then you have to counter that same movement in order to stop and change your direction. So these pilots have gotten very good at working their way through the course and piloting with extreme accuracy. You can see all those fine adjustments he's making on the controller. This is basically exactly what he's doing on his radio right now as he flies through the course. So typically you'll have the throttle stick on the left, and you'll have the yaw stick, also that same stick, moving that left and right. It's going to rotate the drone about the axis of its props. And then to roll that quad left and right, it's going to be the stick on the right, and pushing it forward and backwards, tipping it, leaning it forward. It's going to be that stick on the right as well. And we're going to see Robot using all of those different sticks and coordination to work his way around the track and get a 158.09. Very solid run from him there, cracking the 2-minute mark. Super clean run from him, as we have seen all night. Griff going to finish out in second place, as he has been for most of the night. So we have not had a single position change other than, actually Griff, that's going to be his first second place in this heat as a result of Z-Stone dropping most likely. And Z-Stone good, or
beat him when he's not here.
yeah, there you go. I mean, a win's a win. You got to take what you can get. Street's going to finish out in third.
Let's go Streets.
There you go, dude.
Hey,
Great racing, pilots. So we're going to move on to our...
I was chasing Griff all the way. So hard.
That's awesome. Alright, next group of pilots, we're going to be looking for Solus, AC, Donovan, Leadfingers, Sociopath, and Imperious. Here we go, we've already got our pilots starting to load up, waiting for Griff to drop down.
Got race director. Aha! Now Alright, we're ready.
Leadfingers out here, putting in the work, making the races happen. And we're about to have Group B on the blocks. Here we go. This is for pride. Hearts will be broken in this race. We may have to wait until the points get tallied to know for sure how this ends up. With all the close racing between both the A group and the B group. Right now, though, this is the B group off and away. Imperious jumping into the lead. And he's going to be in a little bit of a pack here. Now breaking away from it, it's going to be Solus and Sociopath just behind. Let's go ahead and watch that battle for second place between Solus in the turquoise and Sociopath in the orange. Some awesome epic racing here as they go on to the lead lap. Imperious in that first place position down through the split S. Oh, and a little double back from Solus. It's a quick one, but it's enough that it's going to let Sociopath jump into that second place position as Imperious works his way out in first. Super solid run here from Imperious. We're going to check back in that rear view mirror section. It's going to be Sociopath in the second place position. And Imperious going on to the lead lap in the lead in the blue drone. Sociopath in second in the orange. Down through the split S portion of the track. Is he going to be able to see the blue LEDs of Imperious? Yes, he is. Down through the low gates. First and second. That's going to be the best opportunity to get into the bubble. And right now it's going to be looking like broken hearts for Leadfingers. It's Donovan, Solus, and AC as they're going to be pressed for points if they can't make something happen here on the final lap. First place, it's going to go to Imperious. He's going to take the win. Sociopath in second. Who's going to finish out in third? It's going to be Leadfingers. Possibly making some moves, but I don't think it's going to be enough to get him into that bubble. as we see Solus and AC finishing out. A little bit of a disappointing run there for Solus. He was in the hunt for the lead just behind Imperius and didn't quite work out. So I think we're going to be looking at Imperius and possibly Sociopath to be advancing. But we're going to have to wait to see how the points turn out, because we could always have somebody bite the dust in A group. If they don't set a fast enough time, they could lose several points. And if enough of them were to do that, someone in Group B could end up jumping up back into the bubble. So we're going to go ahead and check out our next group of pilots. Next group of pilots is going to be 3080 bot, A-Drone, Free, Hyper, KB, and Potato. There we go. We've got all of our pilots loaded in.
Led just raced, didn't it?
Oh, we dropped one. Somebody dropped.
No, Led had just raced.
Oh,
I
okay.
think we need 3080. Yeah.
There we go. Here we go, we got lights, we got tones, and we've got 6 drones off and away. Into the air they go, a beautiful sight as all of them with different colors, different lines through the track here. Looks like the best lines of them all gonna be KB in blue right now. He's gonna be followed closely by A-Drone in the red. And Hyper now in the 4th place position, chasing 3080 bot in 3rd. Through the rear view mirror section they go. Nothing going to be in the rear view mirrors for any of these drones, as they're all neck and neck going on to the 2nd lap. KB in the lead right now, A-Drone in 2nd. Hyper now pushing into 3rd, making the pass on 3080 bot, and now pushing on the tail of A-Drone. Almost getting the pass there, but instead he's going to find the gate, and that's going to be a little setback for him as he's now drops back into the 5th place position. Potato actually going to capitalize on that a little bit, as Potato now working on the yellow tail of 3080 bot. 3080 bot, your 3rd place position right now, chasing down the red LEDs of A-Drone, the blue LEDs of KB. KB going on to the lead lap. It is the 3rd and final lap for all of our pilots here. We're going to be following 3080 bot as he works his way through the course, down through the split S. A nice line from him there, but the nicer line is going to go to Hyper as he pushes his way onto the lead. A nice swoop there from Hyper, and a beautiful pass down through the halo. It's going to be Hyper now battling it out for that 3rd place position with 3080 bot in the yellow. Who is going to take it right now? Hyper, a little bit of an advantage. 1st place though right now, that's looking like it's going to be KB in the blue. 2nd place, who's it going to be? We saw the mistakes earlier on, but Hyper is going to come back into 2nd place. 3080 bot getting 3rd. And Potato nailing down the 4th place position. And we saw the mistake from A-Drone, dropping him all the way down to 6th place in that one. Hopefully enough time that he's not going to be in jeopardy from the B group. So we're going to be tallying points here, pilots. As we figure out who will be our top 8, our Elite 8 in finals for Street League Tryhard Tuesday. Who is going to take the win? We're going to be deciding more of that next.
Alright, our final times. We had Hyper, 50.8. We got KB with the 149.41. We got 3080 bot with a 151.13. These times have dropped through the whole race, guys. everyone has shaved seconds since the beginning of the race.
Yep, that was my best on that last race.
Hell yeah. We got A drone with the 158.56. We got Free with the 155.74. And we got Potato with a 153.05. That should be all of them. Let's look at those points.
Alright, we're gonna wait for... Oh, it looks like we have an unnecessary round 7. There we go. So here we go. These are going to be your final results. You're gonna have to ignore round 7, unfortunately. That's a bogus round. We aren't gonna need it. But your total points, it's gonna be Hyper taking the points lead going into finals. It's going to be KB in second place, nailing down some solid points with 80 points. 3080 bot in third. That's going to be your top 3. Potato FPV in fourth. Imperious in fifth. Free in sixth. A-Drone in seventh. And your Bubble Boy is going to be Sociopath, finishing it out with 56 points. Solus in that 9th place position with 51. We will be looking forward to the rest of our pilots joining us again on our next Tryhard Tuesday here at Street League. But we're going to be finishing it out with our top 8 going into the Elite 8 finals. So this is going to be pretty competitive here in a moment. We're going to go ahead and get some heat set up, and then we will be kicking it off.
Sky, why don't I set up the finals? You talk about the format.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, we'll just do, make sure you have an individual heat for each heat, because then the name will show up nice. Appreciate it. So here's how our format is going to work. Let's go ahead and bring up our points scoreboard on the right here. So essentially this is how it works. Each of these pilots are going to be split up into 2 groups of 4 pilots. And our goal here is to whittle it down to our top 4 so we can race them off. But starting off, we're going to have 2 groups of 4 pilots. We're going to have our A group and our B group. Now we're going to start with our A group and we're going to race them. And we're going to have, after that first race, the winner is going to be considered to advance to finals. And then we're going to race that same group of pilots minus the advancee a second time, where we'll find a second winner. And that'll be the 2 pilots advancing from the first group. Then we'll race our B group and we'll do the same thing. We'll race once, we'll find an advancee, and we'll race them again, and the winner of that is going to be the second advancee. Then we take those 4 advancees and we put them in the top 4 and we race them head to head again. Except this time it's going to be working a little bit backwards. You're going to be eliminating the last place pilot in each heat. So with 4 pilots, that's going to be 3 heats until we have a 1v1, and we're going to decide our champion based on that 1v1. So it all kind of boils down to this pinnacle where you have mano-a-mano to decide who is the Street League, what is this, Tryhard Tuesday champion. We have Sim Night Championship on our previous days of the week, and then we have Tryhard Tuesday. And that's what we will be doing tonight. It's going to be a great time.
Alright, we're starting out with the B semi with KB and Potato and Free. Free and Sociopath.
Love it.
None. All right, it's, if you look in the run tab, it's semi B1. That's what you're looking for right now.
You can go ahead and set it.
All right. Should I start it?
Yeah, go ahead and kick it off if we got pilots ready to roll.
All right, pilots, ready up whenever you're prepared to race.
Here we go. We got pilots loading up. We got lights and we got tones. This is going to be your first heat of the Elite 8. One of these pilots will be winning themselves an opportunity to race in the top 4. Who is it going to be? It's only going to be the winner. These pilots, not much to lose, so they're going to be all out making sure that they secure an opportunity. They've got to be within striking distance, so they can't let off too much, as these are the fastest pilots, our top 8. Or 4 of our top 8. Going on to the rear view mirror section right now. KB going to be your leader. And we've got a hotly contested second place between Potato and Sociopath. We're going to lose Free on the multiple choice gate. And Potato and Sociopath now pushing on the tail of KB. It's going to be
poorly.
It's going to be tough to tell who chooses the line that wins. It's not going to be Free. He's going to choose the wrong one, as KB pushes his way on to closer and closer the inevitability of victory. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be KB? Is it going to be Sociopath? Or is it going to be Potato? Both of them in contention, working really hard to stay within striking distance, but KB is just on a tear here, super consistent, and no matter how hard they push, he has not relented so far. Beautiful line from him there. You can see KB in that blue drone. We're on board right now with Potatoes. He chases down Sociopath, who just made the pass on him through the low gate. Down through the halo gate they go. Who is it going to be? A really nice line there from Potato, but is it going to be enough to make the pass on Sociopath? It doesn't seem like it's going to be able to. Sociopath in the second place position, but first place is all that matters here in semifinal Heat A. It's going to be KB taking the win with a 149.49. An incredible run there from KB, not giving up a single inch for either Sociopath, Potato, or Free. So that's going to be it. We're going to lose KB on that one. He is advancing, so no need to race him again. We're going to be continuing on with one more heat. It's going to be Potato, Free, and Sociopath. Go ahead and ready up when you are prepared to race, pilots.
Nice job, KB. Once again.
Yep, good race.
CB.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Keep up the grind, man. That's all you got to do. That's it.
Just got to keep working. So here we go. On the second heat of semifinal B, it's going to be Potato, Free, and Sociopath all off and away. Who is going to take the win here and advance themselves to the top 4? It's a tight pack as we go onto the twisty bit of the track, down through the low gate. Right now it's going to be Free, your leader, leading the pack, and that's going to be Sociopath and Potato.
Let's go, Potato.
Free in those white LEDs, Sociopath in orange, Potato in pink. Onto the second lap. They're going to go just after this multiple choice gate. This time Free choosing the right one, and he's going to choose the winning line on lap number 1. Now on to lap number 2. Is he going to be able to hang on to it? He's going to have to battle out through this next portion of the track, the tricky bit, the twisty section, and he does a beautiful job of it, battling his way through the pack and hanging onto that position. And it looks like Sociopath is going to slip and let go as he goes up through the central gate, going down. And that's going to leave the battle between Free and Potato. We've got Free with some clean air here, though, as he goes on to the multiple choice gate. Potato pushing as hard as he can, not quite able to catch up, though. On to lap number 3, the final lap. Sociopath would have to pull something out pretty ridiculous here in order to take the win. And we're seeing Potato try his best, but we're going to see Free having a mistake, and that's going to put Potato in the lead. He stayed on the hunt. He stayed in contention, and that is going to pay off greatly here in the third lap as he finishes out miles ahead of the competition. He made sure to stay in contention the whole time and never let go, and he's going to ultimately clinch the win. It's going to be Potato taking the win with a 151. Making sure he was there when it counts.
Hey, that's a PB too.
Great racing, Potato. Stealing the PB. How do you feel going into the top 4?
Excited. I have never made this in a Street League race before. Looking forward to it.
Congrats. Should be a good time. Looking forward to seeing you race in the top 4. We're going to be looking for our next group of pilots, though. It's going to be Semifinal A, Heat 1. Hyper, 3080 bot, Imperius, and A-Drone. You guys are up next, so go ahead and jump into the cockpit. And we will kick this thing off. We got all 4 pilots. And we're waiting for them to get settled. Get those nerves as calm as can be expected going into semifinals. And make sure that they are ready to race. There's going to be some hot competition here. I think we're going to see Hyper with a early lead, but whether or not he can hang on to that, it's going to come down to the performance of Imperius, 3080 bot, and A-Drone, somewhat underdogs going into this first heat. If there were a time to push, though, I imagine that this would be the time to do it. I think the ability to capitalize on any mistakes Hyper could make could allow them to slip in when they would otherwise have to contend with their other pilots. So trying to get that hole shot is going to be pretty important for each of them as they're all off and away. Some beautiful colors of our drones as we work our way through the first lap. Our leader so far are going to be A-Drone, taking some of that sagely advice of mine to heart as he pushes into the front of the pack up through the ascension gate, but now having to battle it out with Hyper as we suspected it would be. A-Drone in the red, Hyper in the purple. Who is going to take the lead here? We're on board with A-Drone now pushing ahead. Is Hyper going to be able to maintain the momentum? It looks like he's hanging on to it well. But the tighter turn there from Hyper, going to let Hyper jump into the lead. A-Drone pushing to try to catch up. Is he going to be able to do it on lap number 2? Looks like we have somewhat lost 3080 bot and Imperius as they drop to the back of the pack. And now A-Drone losing his grip on Hyper as Hyper clenches onto that lead position as tightly as he can down through the halo gate. Hyper in the purple LEDs on a roll here. He's going to snag that position as early as possible and try to make sure that he gets into that top 4 where he'll be able to contend with the best pilots here tonight in the Street League Tryhard Tuesday Sim Night. Hyper in the lead on the 3rd lap. A-Drone in 2nd place in the red. And it looks like 3080 bot and Imperius really nowhere to be found behind them. As the early mistakes, they really pushed hard to try to make sure they were in contention with Hyper, but ultimately Hyper not to be contended with in this heat. He is in the lead going on to the last portion of the track onto the rear view mirror, and it looks like he is going to be taking the win. Hyper with the clear air, able to see A-Drone in his rear view mirror, and it's going to be Hyper taking the lead and taking the advance E spot for the top 4. A-Drone coming in 2nd.
Nice job, A-Drone.
God.
I'll do that again.
A-Drone, do you think you'll be able to get to that top 4 and contend with him a little more? It looks like you almost had him there in lap number 1. Do you think you could do that again in finals if you made it? You don't know? Well, I guess there's only one way to find out then. You said you had some hands earlier when we were doing some iRacing. I think you're going to have to glove up and get him out.
Let me pull my bootstraps up real quick.
There you go. Love to hear it. We're going to be looking forward to seeing you race in the next heat. It's going to be Semifinal A, Heat 2. Go ahead and ready up when you are prepared to race, pilots. This is your next group of pilots. It's going to be 3080 bot, a Street League Sim Nights regular. Imperius, one of our Street League crew, as well as A-Drone. not yet attending a real-life Street League race, but I'm getting the feeling we're going to see him bust those gloves out IRL in the near future.
I think my sim crashed.
Okay, if that is the case...
I have purple mountains.
Yeah, we will probably be rerunning this heat. Pilots?
I got kicked.
Go ahead.
Automatic you.
It was me.
Just because it's Jonathan.
In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the strategies that will have to be employed here. So we're on the last heat of the Elite 8 before we move on to the top 4. We're going to need our pilots to go ahead and queue out when they are prepared. There we go. So we've got one more heat and one more spot left, and it's just going to come down to who can win. Now, I think the hard part here is that each of these pilots are very similarly skilled. We've seen them very close in points. Let's see, it's going to be 3080 bot, Adrone, Imperious. So where do they end up finishing out? So Imperious and Adrone, I think, are the favorites here.
Imperious did miss a race too.
And Imperious missed a race and still managed to move on up the ranks. So right now it looks like Imperious is the favorite. Go ahead and ready up when you're prepared to race, pilots.
3080 bot's been beating me all night. Well,
oh, sorry about that. Actually, yeah, 3080 bot finished out in 3rd. So 3080 bot is actually the favorite here, but Imperious missed a round and still was able to jump up into that 5th place position. So it's going to be really tricky to call on this one. We've got Adrone in the red. We've got 3080 bot in the yellow. And Imperious in the blue. So we are off the launch blocks with all of them through the hole shot gate. And a beautiful line of quads down through the split S and up through the twisty bit, but it looks like 3080 bot gonna have a little bit of trouble hanging on to that momentum though, as he now chases down the blue and red LEDs of Adrone and Imperious. Who is gonna be able to take this win here, this critical last position available in the top 4? It's gonna be Adrone versus Imperious FPV right now, with 3080 bot hot on their heels going down through the multiple choice gate. Your leader right now looks like it's gonna be Imperious, with Adrone furiously chasing behind him. Down through the split as they go. Different lines for each of them, but they're both going to come out together through the twisty bit, and some beautiful line work from both of them, choosing the same line there, stealing that line we saw Hyper take earlier on, all the way in round number 1. Again, different lines down through the halo, but they re-merge down at the end of that section of the track. Who is it going to be in the lead? I can't even tell right now. Looks like Adrone just barely ahead now of Imperious. Imperious with a tighter line though. Adrone hanging on to the momentum, and that's going to put them side by side, either side of what is probably the fastest line, but they're both inches from it as they go down through the split S gate, and the bump there from Adrone, but he hangs on to the quad, just yawing back and making sure that he doesn't lose any speed at all. Now down through the halo gate, and Adrone pushes to get into that lead again, but Imperious is too fast onto the rear view mirror section. Imperious just barely in the lead. Adrone pushing as hard as he can. Who is going to take it? It's going to come down to the multiple choice gate. There's only one choice here, and it's going to be the fastest line, and it looks like Imperious has it as he noses down into the finish, and Imperious takes the win by 0.2 seconds. Some amazing racing there.
Adrone.
Personal best.
Good race.
That's a PB by more than a second.
Absolutely incredible racing there, guys. Thank you so much for coming on tonight and showing your awesome drone racing skills to both myself and the rest of the live stream. This would not be the same without you guys pushing the limits of drone racing. So thank you so much for joining us, both Adrone and who's our other pilot there, 3080 bot. Appreciate you guys jumping on the live stream tonight.
Oh yeah, it was
Yes,
a lot of
thank
fun.
you.
That was my PB by 2
Good
seconds.
races.
Right
That's
there.
awesome. That's
Did
what
we
we
all
love to
PB?
see.
That was so baller.
Was that a PB
Curious,
from
did
all
you?
pilots?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Incredible.
Dang,
Literally
that's crazy.
all of our pilots putting on their literal best performance. That is what we love to see here on Street League drone racing. Just pilots absolutely pushing the limits of what can be done. And we think we found a format that really facilitates letting you guys, the audience, experience exactly how hard they have worked for this. So we're going to be moving on to our finals heat. And it looks like it's going to be KB. Let's go ahead and introduce the pilots. Here we go. So our finals, it's going to be KB FPV, Potato FPV, Hyper, and Imperious. Your top 4. Go ahead and ready up when you are prepared to race, pilots. Stream is in the sim chat, I think. Somewhere buried in all those screenshots.
I got you, Chief.
Welcome to the stream, by the way. Here we go. We got podium for the top 4. This is going to be an intense matchup. We've got Potato in pink. We've got KB in blue. We've got Imperious in dark blue. And we got Hyper in the purple drone. Just waiting on the sim to load up where we will be kicking it off. Format going to change up here a little bit in the top 4. It's going to be last place gets dropped. And we're going to race that back again and again until we have a 1v1 to decide it all. But right now we're going to be deciding who is going to be getting eliminated first. No pilot wants to miss the podium, but this is where it's going to happen. And it looks like early on it may end up being Potato as he has a little bit of an upset there. And it's going to be KB in the lead, but a mistake from Imperious says this is not going to be a boring race. Potato still has the possibility to make something happen. Imperious, though, with a faster recovery, that's going to put him mildly in the 3rd place position as we see the battle between KB and Hyper. A little bit of foreshadow, potentially, for what we have in store going on to the last race of the night here on Tryhard Tuesday on Street League Drone Racing. Tonight we're doing some sim racing. Not necessarily for street cred, not for season points in our real life series, but it's definitely for pride amongst all the sweats and tryhards in the sim racing scene. Right now we've got a great battle going on for first place between KB and Hypers. They go down through the Halo Gate. Who's going to take the win here? They both want it. Is the mistake potentially worth it, though? It doesn't look like Potato's in contention. They're going to get to see him through that rear view mirror section as they all re-merge. And it looks like KB now falling back into the 2nd place position. Hyper in the 1st place position in purple. Down through the split S. And a beautiful line there from Hyper. Really hanging on to the momentum. Making sure he keeps it throughout the track. Who is going to take the win? It looks like Hyper's got it. Who's going to get that last place position, though? That's the real question we've got. Who is going to be getting eliminated in round number 1 of the top 4 right now? It looks like Potato as Imperious in that transfer position, trying to stay alive. Just playing the conservative game as he gets to see Potato in that rear view mirror section. Now onto the multiple choice gate for Imperious as Hyper takes the win. KB in 2nd and Imperious with some celebratory loops as he makes it in 3rd place and survives the 1st round of top 4. Potato, we've been enjoying watching your racing all night long. Thank you so much for joining us. That's going to be it for your night, though.
Good racing with you guys.
And
good racing tonight, Potato.
Yeah, good racing, man.
We're going to get to move on, though. We're going to be eliminating one more pilot. It's going to be Imperious, KB, Hyper. Your top 3. This is your podium at this point. But who wants it all? Who wants to climb up those steps? This is going to be their opportunity to do that.
Oh, so funny. I grabbed this one, and I hit it. I'm like, what the fuck?
All right, here we go. We got podiums. Waiting for the drones to load on in.
I don't even know.
We got lights, we got tones. We're going to lose one more pilot before we decide who our 1v1 is going to contain. Right now we got the light blue of KB, the dark blue of Imperious, and the purple of Hyper working their way onto the first section of the track. Right now it looks like KB out in the lead, trying to take that win from Hyper, prove that he can do it coming up in this next round. Hyper going to stay composed, though, as he has the pressure building from Imperious just behind him. Onto the rear view mirror section of the track they go. All three kind of in a line now as they go through the multiple choice gate. There's only one choice now, though, as we get to this level of racing. It's going to be that tightest option, that closest gate to the flag, as we see KB working his way down through the split S in the lead. Hyper playing chase in second. Imperious in third right now. Hyper starting to push just a little bit, trying to catch up to KB, but maybe the fatal mistake as a result as he collides with the Ascension Gate, now down through the Halo, and it's going to be KB in the lead going on to lap number 3, but Imperious in second. We may end up seeing Hyper end his run for the night in third place if he's not able to pull something absolutely crazy out here in lap number 3. We call Hyper the fisherman. He's got the biggest fishing pole because he loves to reel in his opponents. We may get to see him do it here again tonight. And unfortunate crash there for Hyper, and I don't think it is going to go his way tonight. It's going to be Imperious getting to have the 1v1 versus KB. But does he have the speed? KB has the consistency, and that's what's gotten him this far. But he's also got the speed, and it's going to be a tall order for Imperious as KB takes the win in finals, heat number 2. Hyper going to get eliminated in that one as Imperious takes second place. We've got the freestyle finish from Hyper. Can't be too mad about that one. Third place, still a podium for him. And that's going to be it. We're going to say goodbye to Hyper. Thank you so much for joining us and showing us what awesome drone racing looks like. And it is decided. Your top 2 for the Street League Tryhard Tuesday Championship. It's going to be Imperious versus KB as we lose Hyper on that one.
Let's go, baby.
I did not expect that.
These
That was wild.
are your final 2 pilots. The upset, Imperious pushing his way all the way to the top 2. Missed a round in points rounds, still made it all the way up to, I believe, 5th position. Well into the top 8. And now into the top 2, where it's going to be a 1v1 to decide it all. It's going to be KB in the light blue, Imperious in the dark blue. Who is going to take it? They're off side by side. KB, though, with that signature launch and the signature speed that we've seen from him before. A regular sim champion here at Street League. He's done it several times, and he's going to make Imperious give everything he's got. Going on to lap number 1, we're already seeing KB start to push. But this is Street League. You never know what's going to happen. Even when you think you do, it doesn't turn out that way, and that's what we love. We love to see the pilots pushing, giving everything they've got. And the format really pushes them to their limits. KB on the limit of what the drone is able to do. Imperious on the limit of what he's able to do, trying to catch up. Down through the split as he goes, up through the twisty bit. It's going to be KB in the lead. Imperious playing chase through the rest of our course. An incredibly tight turn there from Imperious. Is it going to gain him any speed, though? KB is the master of momentum on lap number 2, making sure that he's got all the speed he needs through the course on the rear view mirror section. KB not going to be able to see Imperious in his rear view mirror as Imperious is too close to see. On to the final lap right now. It's going to be KB still in that lead. Imperious not losing space, not losing ground, but also not gaining either. And there's enough space where KB's able to breathe, able to stretch those legs and make sure that he does what he needs to do. I think we see a little tap there maybe, or possibly some lag from Imperious, not sure which. But ultimately it's going to be KB out in the lead, and he may be settling it here right now on the rear view mirror. And onto the multiple choice gate, it's going to be KB onto the final portion of the track, and he's going to take the win for your Street League Tryhard Tuesday champion.
Let's go, KB.
Yeah, bud.
Good job, bro.
Congratulations, KB.
Oh yeah, good racing, everybody. Awesome job, KB.
Good racing, Imperious. Congratulations on second place. And that is going to be it.
GG's, KB.
EG's Imperious, always a tough match.
Even another PB wasn't enough to catch him, so.
It's hard to do.
Well, if you would have had that 20 minutes, I don't know. At the best, you probably would have had it.
We'll never know.
It would have been close for sure. But this is going to be your podium. It's going to be KB taking the win, Imperious in second place, and Hyper finishing out in third. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us tonight on Street League Tryhard Tuesday. This has been just a little bit of a taste of the format that we like to run during our real-life racing series, and some of the heart-pounding action that this format brings. And we're definitely looking forward to you showing up either in our Discord or Facebook, or better yet, at a real-life event. So if you're looking to get into drone racing or get into Street League in general, our Spec Drone Racing League, then go ahead and jump into one of those, and I'm sure one of our members would be happy to greet you and help you out on your journey with drone racing. But this has been it. Congratulations to our podium pilots, and congratulations to KB for taking the win. That's going to be it for the night. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time on Street League Drone Racing.
Thank you.